You are detained under section 43 of
Yeah, under what grounds?
The reason being is you're hanging outside a police station, filming officers coming in and out.
Welcome to Rate the Audits, where we put misconduct on display, explore police and legal content, protect rights and demand accountability. This episode is brought to us by Yardley Ski Auditing. Be sure to check the link below and subscribe to his channel and give him the credit he deserves. In this episode, Auditor Yardley Ski drops 2 explosive encounters, ending in payout after shocking misuse of Section 43. In the first, he's outside a police station early in the morning when 2 armed inspectors confront him, demanding answers and calling him backup. Even after Yardley schools them on the law, they still detain him on grounds that make zero legal sense. And if that wasn't bad enough, the second incident is even worse. Yardley peacefully films outside a government building, only to be rushed and unlawfully detained by an officer who throws every rule of policing out the window.
Speak English?
Yeah, I speak English.
Yeah, hiya. We're just asking for a way you count in recording a police station. The vehicle's coming in and out of the police station, please, sir.
Oh, can I...
Stand back, please.
Can I ask you to identify yourself?
Yeah, I'm Inspector Ralph. Okay.
Have you got a number?
I'm an inspector. I don't have a shoulder number.
I apologise. Okay. Can I ask you to identify yourself?
Yeah, I'm Chief Inspector Mattock.
Okay.
From Aviation Policing.
Okay.
This is obviously a police station, which is an armoury. Obviously, we've got weapons in there. Okay, as you can see, we're an armed police inoculator. So obviously, when people are recording a police station, which doesn't really happen that often around here, it obviously comes to our attention. So that's the reason why you've been stopped. So
am I being stopped? Am I being detained? Well,
no, I'm speaking to the moment.
Am I being detained?
It's not the moment, no.
Well then, so if I'm not being detained, then I can talk.
Okay.
You are speaking to me in a way that I'm saying I don't have to listen to you. You're not detaining me. I'm not doing nothing wrong. Fair enough, you're asking me, and I'm accounting for my actions.
And you haven't accounted for your actions.
Well, I am. I'm telling you that I'm filming on a public street, public interest. What more do you want?
The inspector's justification was nonsense from the start. Saying Yardley was being stopped because the building has weapons inside is not a lawful reason. It's pure fear-based policing. Every police armoury in the country holds weapons, but that doesn't turn the surrounding public pavement into a restricted zone. There's no legislation that prohibits filming a police building just because firearms are stored inside. If there were, half the streets around the UK's major stations would be off limits, and they're not. Yardley, on the other hand, showed complete composure. The moment he confirmed he wasn't being detained, he exercised his right to disengage, reminding the inspector that conversation doesn't equal compliance. It was a great example of how authority can't overrule legality, no matter how senior the officer is.
But why are you filming a police station and the vehicles come out of the police station, and obviously you're filming me now?
You're the only vehicle that has come out.
Okay.
Your police, I can call them police personnel in their working day. I'm telling you, I'm not doing nothing wrong, and I can do it.
I want to make sure that your activities are not suspicious or criminal intent.
Yeah, which is fair enough.
Which is fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah, of course,
okay.
it's fair enough.
And I think you'd be exactly the same using my shoes.
Yeah,
okay?
I agree.
I've never met you before.
No, that's fair enough.
I've got nothing against you. You know, I don't know what your name is.
No, that's fair enough.
My name. You can give me your name if you wish. You know, if you want to have first name terms, that's totally up to you. But obviously, that's the reason why we're speaking to you at the moment, so you can account for your actions.
Got another officer out, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask you to identify yourself?
Yeah, PC Philpott.
Yep. Can I have your number?
Shoulder number's just there, 3821.
Okay. And another officer as well, yeah?
You happy to tell me your details?
No, I'm not.
Why is that?
Because I'm not doing nothing wrong. I'm on a public footpath.
It's just polite, isn't it? I've introduced myself.
This is the classic soft coercion tactic, when an officer knows they have no legal power to demand information, so they try to dress it up as politeness. The officer had already identified himself, which is good practice, but once Yardley declined to give his own details, that should have been the end of it. There's no law that says you have to reciprocate an introduction, and there's certainly no obligation to hand over personal information just to satisfy an officer's curiosity. And that line, "it's just polite," really exposes the mindset. Policing isn't about politeness, it's about legality. Civility doesn't override the law. Yardley was standing on public land, doing nothing illegal, and had every right to maintain his privacy.
So what's your intentions then with you recording the police station?
It's a public interest video. Not sure what I'm going to do. It's totally.
Do you put it on social media? Do you have a social media site or YouTube?
Can I again ask if I'm being detained?
You're not being detained, no. You're just
Okay,
asking
so
why-
if I'm not being detained, can I ask kindly if I can just go about my way? I mean, you're going to ask me the same question over and over again. I'm telling you what I'm doing.
Okay.
You've
But
got
you
1,
haven't
2,
really-
3, 4, 5 officers
I
out.
don't really know what you
Yeah,
mean by
I'm not
public
doing no
interest.
hostile
What is a pub-
reconnaissance
Why did you say that? Because not
because.
many people will say that.
Oh yeah, lots of people do say that actually.
Well,
when
I've never
they
actually-
have interactions with
They've actually stopped someone who's suddenly thrown
okay,
in the
so
word
when they
hostile
have
reconnaissance.
interactions with police who start asking me to account for my actions when I'm standing on a public footpath, if somebody was walking past and they were filming, would you just all of a sudden stop?
The inspector basically admitted that his suspicion came not from Yardley's actions, but from the fact that Yardley knew his rights and vocabulary. When Yardley said he wasn't doing hostile reconnaissance, he was simply preempting the tired excuse officers often use to justify an unlawful stop. But instead of taking that as clarification, the inspector twisted it into suspicion, as if knowing the law is in itself incriminating. Yardley's follow-up hit the nail on the head. If an ordinary passerby filmed the building without saying a word, would they be stopped? Of course not. What the inspector really exposed was his bias, that a confident, legally aware citizen makes him uncomfortable. That's the opposite of how policing should work. Officers should respect public knowledge of the law, not treat it like a threat.
Well, it depends really, but
Okay.
your activity
All
is
right.
not
Normal, is it?
It's not normal.
Yeah, it is normal actually.
Like a normal member of
Look, there's another 2 up there. So much like 2, 4, 6 people.
How many? You've got 3 people walking there. How many of them
Yeah,
are videoing?
you can 43 me if you like.
Okay. Do you know what section 43
I do know what
the
section
terrorism act?
43 is,
Okay, have you ever been subject to that
but
before?
let me just say to you, if you're going to section 43 me, yeah, I would like to know why.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm accounting for my actions. Yeah, I'm not being hostile. I'm not being aggressive.
No,
yeah, have you got
I never
any?
said
Have
you
you got
are.
any information why you would want to do section 43? Or is
you're-
it just something which you want to abuse because
No,
I'm
we're not
filming?
using it.
Well, because I'm filming, which I can do, which is a legal activity, why would you want to go down the road of a section 43? And if you do, let me just tell you, I will make a civil claim against you.
Okay.
The second the inspector drops section 43, the whole tone shifts. By invoking it so casually, he shows that he doesn't actually understand the gravity of what he's saying. Yardley's calm pushback, reminding him that he's done nothing hostile, nothing unlawful, exposes how flimsy the inspector's position really is. He's not responding to a threat, he's reacting to his own discomfort. What makes it worse is that section 43 isn't open to interpretation, it's black and white. You either have reasonable suspicion of terrorism, or you don't. And in this case, the inspector clearly didn't. He wasn't enforcing the law, he was enforcing his own feelings. That's the danger. When officers start bending legislation to suit emotion, the line between suspicion and assumption disappears completely.
He wants to do something. He didn't want to come out of his station for no reason whatsoever.
Let me tell you now.
This sun's really in my eyes. I
We're
can't
going to
even
detain
think
you
properly.
under section 43 of the Terrorism
Okay.
Act, okay?
Can I carry on filming?
As it's been explained to you,
Can I carry on filming? Fair enough.
you can just talk over me, but I will just
No,
talk.
I'm just
okay?
asking if I can carry on filming.
So, you are detained under section 43 of
Yeah,
the
under what
Terrorism
grounds?
Act. The reason being is you're hanging outside a police station,
Okay.
filming officers coming in and out. We've asked you the reason
Was I filming
for
officers
that.
coming in and out? Where did
You've
you get that
given
from?
No explanation, really. No,
officers
no
coming
valid
in and out.
explanation.
No, officers coming in and out.
Very
There's no
important.
in and out.
Speak again, you're just
Take a
talking
civil
over
case.
me.
This is what he's going to say.
Do I need to listen to
Okay.
him?
You do.
You're stopping me
That's
under
the reason
43. I
why.
mean, it's
That's the
a
reason why.
it's a
Okay,
claim
I've given
anyway.
you
So
I've given you my name, PC Philpott, currently attached to this police station. So
yeah,
what
can I take
Well,
it
get
before I
one.
leave?
I'll get off to go and get
Yes,
one.
because you are
Okay.
detained.
Okay.
We're going to just put you up, stand
That's
you
fair
against
enough.
this wall, just
Yep.
so it's a backdrop for you.
Okay.
Just while I do the search, I'll
Okay.
ask you to put your phone down up here, okay? So no
That's
one's
fair
going to
enough.
touch that.
Yardley simply comments that the officer wants to do something, and that's all it takes to set him off. You can see the change in his demeanour. Suddenly the calm is gone, replaced by defensiveness. When he snaps, "You can talk over me, but I'll still talk," it's obvious he's not interested in facts anymore. He's just trying to assert dominance. Then comes the so-called grounds. You've been filming officers coming in and out, except that's completely false. Yardley only filmed one thing, the inspectors leaving the building. There was no coming in and out, no pattern of suspicious behaviour, nothing that could lawfully justify detention under section 43. That one line exposes everything. The officer didn't have reasonable suspicion, he just made something up to fit the narrative.
You're free to go.
Okay, so I'm free to go, so I'm free to stay, yeah?
we've obviously spoken to you now.
Yeah, okay. Free to go, free to stay. Do you hear that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
yeah.
so I've done nothing wrong. I was just saying to your inspector, what was your rank, please?
Chief Inspector.
Chief Inspector, are you higher than this guy? I don't mean it in a.
We work together.
Yeah, I know, but I'm asking his rank. Are you higher than rank?
I'm his.
Okay, so I'm tasking him, your inspector, to look at some paperwork that speaks about Section 43. Section 43 is an abuse if you haven't got any intel to suspect me of being a terrorist. You can't suspect me of being a terrorist because I'm pointing a camera at the police station. So I'm just letting you know that, right? And that's going to be a basis of my civil claim against you guys, yeah?
Okay, that's absolutely fine.
Okay, and what was you going to say about the inspector?
I was going to say we work together.
This moment completely exposes how deeply the failure ran, not just with one officer, but with the leadership itself. The inspector was the one pushing the Section 43 search, yet the chief inspector, the highest ranking officer there, stood by and allowed it to happen. That's unforgivable. Someone in his position should know that filming a police station on its own is not grounds for suspecting terrorism. It's been clarified countless times by both the Home Office and senior police guidance. Photography in public is not a crime, and suspicion must be based on specific intelligence, not assumptions. For both an inspector and a chief inspector to ignore that shows it's not a training issue anymore, it's a leadership one.
The encounter's over, sir. You are free to leave. We are going to go because we need to go.
So anything you write down in your notebook, I'll be requesting that under SARS, under a subject access request. So make sure that it's available for me to see, okay? Right, all these things is ridiculous. Inspectors and chief inspector, sorry, but it wasn't very good. Yeah, do not abuse Section 43. It is an abuse of power. And that is all that you was trying to do, is insert your power over me.
Now, if you thought that was a shocking detention, here's one which is even worse. And this time, Yardley reveals how much compensation he received.
Go on, mate. You just put your thing down.
No,
Put it down.
I'm not going to put it
At the
down.
moment, you're detained under Section 43 of terrorism, mate.
Okay, fair enough, yeah.
You want to put it down?
What's the reason? Well, I'm not resisting, but what's the reason?
Okay, well,
I'm not resisting, I'm filming you. Have you got your camera on? I'm filming you, mate.
Camera's on.
Okay.
You might want to put it down, else you're going to get that.
Alright then, let me put it down. Let me put it down then. Alright, let me put it down, okay. This is what they done to me. Put me in handcuffs, hurt my arm, hurt my hand.
Why have you gone all quiet now?
Because you illegally detained me. You stopped and searched me unlawfully.
Go.
That's what you done. Hold
right
on.
up.
Let me ask a question. Am I still being detained? You haven't released me from my detainment yet. I take it I'm still being detained, yeah? So I'm still being detained. No one told me that I've been released from detainment unlawfully. There you go. I got notification from my solicitor, HNK, and the police have settled in the sum of £1,000. £1,000 of taxpayers' money.
This is a perfect example of how not to police under Section 43. The officer rushes straight toward Yardley, cuffs him instantly, and declares a terrorism detention without giving a single lawful ground. There's no communication, no reasonable suspicion, and absolutely no justification for the use of force. It's pure reaction, not reason. Section 43 requires the officer to articulate clear grounds before detaining someone, not after. The moment Yardley's wrists were cuffed without cause, that detention crossed from lawful authority into unlawful assault. Then when Yardley calmly asks if he's still being detained, the officer doesn't even have the professionalism to answer. He rolls the window up and smugly says, "Bye-bye." That's not policing, that's mockery. But Yardley didn't let it slide. He passed the case straight to HNK, one of the top police misconduct law firms in the country. And sure enough, as shown in the image, he secured a £1,000 payout. £1,000 of taxpayer money, not the officer's, gone to cover for incompetence that should never have happened. This whole episode is the perfect storm of arrogance, incompetence, and ego on full display. Yardley wasn't some agitator causing trouble. He was simply filming in public, exercising a right that's been tested and proven countless times in law. Yet the moment the camera came out, the officer's training went straight out the window. The inspector and chief inspector, supposedly seasoned leaders, acted like rookies who'd never heard of objective suspicion. Watching two high-ranking officers twist Section 43 of the Terrorism Act into a personal comfort clause was both embarrassing and infuriating. The whole armoury excuse was laughable, as if every police station in the UK is suddenly a top-secret military base. Yardley challenged them with logic and law, and they responded with authority and attitude, because that's all they had left once the legal ground disappeared beneath them. Then comes the government building fiasco, the icing on the cake. The officer didn't even try to pretend it was a lawful stop. He went straight for the cuffs and called it a Section 43 detention, without even saying why. That's not counter-terrorism, that's cowardice dressed as control. When Yardley calmly tried to confirm if he was still detained, he got a window rolled up in his face. That single moment summed it all up. Zero respect, zero accountability, and total ignorance of the powers they're supposed to uphold. And yet, justice had its moment. Yardley handed the case to HNK solicitors, and the force quietly settled with £1,000 in damages. Yardley's persistence turned humiliation into exposure, and exposure into victory. 2 Section 43 detentions, 2 total collapses of professionalism, and 1 ironclad reminder that the camera never lies, even when the police do. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me continue with my independent coverage. Also, don't forget to check out Yardley Ski. His channel is linked in the description. Show him some love. Thanks for watching. This was Rate the Audits, and I'll see you in the next one.